Did you know that nearly 40% of people in casual relationships feel more anxiety than those in committed ones? Or that 60% of people in flings end up developing feelings, even though they promise to keep things light? Casual relationships seem like the perfect way to avoid commitment, but they can actually cause more harm than good. In this video, we'll uncover the surprising emotional toll that casual connections can have on your happiness. From feelings of uncertainty and heartbreak to the dangers of comparison, you might be paying a higher price than you think. We'll also dive into how chasing short-term excitement can prevent you from finding true love and happiness. Stick with us to find out why casual relationships might be costing you more than you realize, and how you can make better choices for your emotional well-being. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Freedom: How Casual Flings Can Trap You. Casual relationships often feel like a dream come true. The idea of no strings attached and no emotional baggage sounds like freedom. But in reality, casual flings can trap you in emotional confusion. When you don't set clear expectations, you risk falling into a cycle of uncertainty. A 2019 study by the American Psychological Association found that people in casual relationships report feeling more anxious and insecure than those in committed ones. This uncertainty often leads to emotional attachment. You might think that you're only looking for fun, but before long, you start to crave something deeper. In fact, 60% of people in casual relationships say they've developed feelings for their partner, despite having agreed to keep things light. That initial feeling of freedom is often replaced with a need for clarity and reassurance, which creates its own kind of emotional stress. The truth is, without emotional commitment, these relationships lack the stability that allows you to truly feel free. Instead of providing emotional relief, casual relationships can leave you with more questions than answers. Over time, this emotional confusion can prevent you from finding true happiness. The more you ignore your need for clarity and connection, the more you end up trapped in a cycle that's hard to break. If you value your emotional well-being, it's crucial to recognize that casual relationships often lead to emotional dependence instead of freedom. Chapter 2: Ghosting and Heartbreak: The Hidden Emotional Tax. Ghosting, the act of suddenly cutting off all communication, has become one of the most common consequences of casual relationships. What starts as a light connection can quickly lead to emotional pain. A study by the University of Arizona showed that 45% of people have been ghosted at least once, and of those, 80% report feeling emotionally hurt by the experience. This kind of behavior leaves people feeling confused and rejected. Ghosting doesn't just end a relationship, it erases any closure, leaving the person on the receiving end with no way to heal. When people are ghosted, they often feel a sense of betrayal, as though they were discarded without any thought. This can be especially damaging when you've built emotional investment in the other person, even in a casual setting. The emotional effects are often long-lasting. A survey by Psychology Today found that those who are ghosted are at a 30% higher risk of depression and anxiety. The impact is particularly strong for people who have a history of insecure attachment styles. These individuals may already struggle with feelings of abandonment, and ghosting only deepens those wounds. While ghosting might feel like an easy way out, it can leave a person emotionally scarred. Casual relationships can sometimes offer temporary thrills, but the emotional tax can be heavy. It's essential to recognize that clear communication is key to avoiding unnecessary heartache. Even in a casual relationship, setting boundaries and being honest can help prevent emotional damage. Chapter 3: The Chemistry Trap: Why Sparks Don't Equal Happiness. We've all experienced that undeniable spark when you meet someone new. It feels exciting and magnetic, and for many, this chemistry is enough to keep things going. But the truth is, chemistry alone isn't a solid foundation for a lasting relationship. In fact, research from the University of California suggests that people often confuse initial attraction with long-term compatibility, which leads them into relationships that are ultimately unsatisfying. Chemistry can create intense feelings, but those feelings don't always translate into happiness. A 2020 survey found that 67% of individuals in casual relationships admitted that the excitement of chemistry faded after just a few months. When the initial rush of attraction dies down, many people realize they're left with little more than physical attraction, something that isn't enough to sustain long-term happiness. Long-term relationships are built on trust, communication, and shared goals, not just sparks of passion. Dr. Helen Fisher, a leading anthropologist, says, chemistry is great, but compatibility is what keeps relationships together. That's why it's important not to mistake physical attraction for something deeper. Chemistry may get your heart racing, but it doesn't guarantee emotional satisfaction or long-term happiness. Many people in casual relationships may eventually feel unfulfilled because the connection lacks the emotional depth that makes a relationship truly meaningful. According to a report by the Journal of Marriage and Family, couples who share common interests and values are 50% more likely to be happy in their relationships. Without that deeper connection, the chemistry fizzles out, leaving both people wondering if there's more to life than just a good time. While chemistry is important, it's crucial to understand that it doesn't equal lasting happiness. Casual relationships might give you the rush you seek, but true happiness in love comes from more than just attraction. Building a relationship based on trust, respect, and shared values is what leads to genuine fulfillment. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights on building healthier, happier relationships. Don't miss out, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Chapter 4, The Lost Time Paradox. Are you really free? Casual relationships often promise freedom, less time invested, less emotional commitment. But here's the catch, they can actually consume more of your time and energy than you think. In a 2018 study by the University of Michigan, participants reported that 72% of people in casual relationships spent more time thinking about the person they were involved with than they expected, leading to mental exhaustion. Though you might tell yourself you're just having fun, casual relationships can distract you from your other goals. You may find yourself constantly checking your phone, waiting for messages, or wondering about your partner's feelings. This mental energy could be better spent on hobbies, self-growth, or even building stronger friendships. The paradox is clear, casual relationships promise freedom, but they often create a mental cage. The time you spend emotionally investing in a casual relationship could easily be better spent on personal development. According to a 2020 study by Harvard, people who focus on long-term personal goals are 50% more likely to achieve happiness than those who prioritize short-term desires. When you're stuck in the loop of fleeting interactions, you may find yourself losing touch with your own aspirations and desires. Not only does this drain your emotional resources, but it also prevents you from moving forward. The longer you stay in a casual relationship, the harder it becomes to break free. Instead of gaining freedom, you lose valuable time. The truth is, happiness doesn't lie in the number of casual connections you have but in how you use your time to enrich your life. Chapter 5, The Cost of Comparison. Can casual love ruin real connection? One of the dangers of casual relationships is that they often lead to comparisons with past partners. This constant comparison can skew your expectations and prevent you from building real, meaningful connections. A study conducted by the National Relationship Institute found that 64% of people who had multiple short-term relationships found it difficult to commit to long-term partnerships due to unrealistic expectations. The more casual relationships you have, the more likely you are to compare each new person to the last one. This constant measuring can create unrealistic standards and hinder your ability to see someone for who they truly are. As Dr. Alexandra Solomon writes in Loving Bravely, we often judge future relationships by the flaws or advantages of past ones, creating a barrier to true connection. In casual relationships, people often focus on the excitement or thrill of the moment. However, when you constantly look for the same excitement in every person, you miss the chance to form a deeper bond. Real connection doesn't come from excitement alone, it comes from mutual respect, shared values, and meaningful communication. This habit of comparison can also prevent you from seeing the red flags in future relationships. When you're constantly comparing your current partner to someone else, you might overlook crucial signs that the relationship isn't right for you. It's important to let go of past comparisons and allow each relationship to unfold on its own. Chapter 6, Redefining Happiness. The true value of commitment. Casual relationships may provide temporary thrills, but real happiness comes from commitment. When you invest time and energy into building a strong, committed relationship, you create a stable foundation for lasting happiness. According to a 2021 study from the University of California, Couples who commit to one another report higher levels of satisfaction and emotional security than those who avoid commitment. Commitment doesn't mean losing your independence, it means building a shared life that brings both partners joy and fulfillment. The true value of commitment lies in the deep emotional connection and trust that forms over time. Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, suggests that meaningful relationships are built on consistent, loving actions, not fleeting moments of passion. In committed relationships, both people work together to create a life full of shared experiences and memories. This is what makes a relationship truly fulfilling. Research from the American Psychological Association indicates that people in long-term committed relationships are 70% more likely to experience higher levels of happiness and emotional stability. Commitment also provides the space for growth, both individually and as a couple. The foundation of mutual trust allows both partners to explore their own interests while supporting each other's goals. Unlike casual relationships, where each person may be focused on their own needs, a committed partnership fosters collaboration and shared dreams. Choosing commitment over casual flings doesn't mean you're settling, it means you're prioritizing your long-term happiness. In fact, couples who make the choice to commit are more likely to experience both personal and relational growth. True happiness is not found in short-term thrills but in the deep emotional bonds that take time and effort to build. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe for more relationship insights. Hit that notification bell so you're always in the loop with the latest tips on how to build lasting, healthy relationships.